far as the hi-hats and the percussion stuff, I didn't really feel like there was a need to EQ or compress anything. I liked the way everything sounded. My approach is not the same to every song. I mean, I always have certain plugins that I will gravitate towards. Certain things I like on my mix bus at the end for sure that I always use, and certain things I use on my all music bus, which is all the drums and bass gets combined to this track before they go to the actual mix bus track, which would be this one, and then that gets printed over here. But yeah, so I didn't really feel like there was a lot to do, and then especially when you add these two plugins for the music bus, this is what really, for me, ties everything together. So you have all my drums going through the drum bus, and then they come out of the console using a little EQ, and then they go back in to this all music track here. And this all music track, I always have these two plugins on. Sometimes I use more than two, but generally this is how I keep it, and I mess with the settings. I start with the black box, which is some more harmonic saturation, and I kind of just mess with that to where I'm happy with it. Now again, with the genre being hip hop, we want that low end hitting really hard, but we don't want it distorting. So again, talking about the layers, I added, as you can see, a little bit of some saturation in the low end, and the pentode is, I mean, basically like how the tubes are and how you're hitting the tubes. I didn't add any air because I felt like the cymbals and the other drum stuff were bright enough. And then after that, I use another harmonic saturation plugin called the VSM3. And this one is kind of cool because you can do one channel, you can do second harmonic FET crusher, and then the other stereo part of it, you can do a third harmonic Zener blender. Not exactly sure what they're supposed to be modeled after or whatever, but I find, I mean, I guess a FET crusher is like sort of maybe 1176 style compression, but the harmonic part of it, and this is second harmonics. So I tend to use those. I like the second harmonic stuff a bit more on the low end, and the third harmonic stuff I save more for like the higher end. And as you can see, zero is right there, so I'm really not adding a ton of harmonic saturation. And this is like a shaper button. And then you have your THD mix, which I usually leave close to 100. I think, yeah, it's 99 here. And then you have soft and hard. I think because I'm adding so much harmonic saturation throughout the song, I don't like to do a lot to one thing. Like I was saying again, the layers, we're just adding a little here, a little there. So yeah, let's check it out. Why don't we check out the drums without the saturation, without the stuff on the bus. We'll do that, and then I'll play you with the stuff on the bus, and then you can kind of see. Now I'm gonna leave my plugins on that I have on the individual tracks, but this is so you can hear how my bus stuff changes it. So a good bit of dynamic range. But then you add the black box and you add the VSM3. Hits a little harder. Again, it's not a huge difference. There's subtle differences. Just kind of makes it feel like it's a little more in your face and a little more lively and a little more interesting.